All right, YouTube, what's up? So today, I think we already talked about how I was arranging or organizing my toolbox, and we got a couple more things that we're gonna do here, just so that, like I said, as we enter into winter for me, I'm not feeling like it's just clutter everywhere. So one of the things that's in the toolbox here that we're gonna talk about was this bad boy here. All right, so we got this Craftsman tire pressure. All right, this thing does DC and AC, as it says right here. It will go up to 120 on the PSI scale here. It does bar and I think like KPA or some other mess there. So for your AC side, you got this cord over here. You can plug straight into the wall. And then your DC side is gonna be right here. Plug into a cigarette lighter or whatever else you got inside your car. Or one of those, on the go type of battery systems that you can use. It's got a couple of nozzles here that you can use for like your air mattresses, or like I said, like your bike tire, the pieces up here on the top. Let me see if I can pull this out for you. So you can see right there, that's going to be for like a basketball, football, or any type of like little sports balls that you have. And then this is going to be where the air comes out for your hose on the back side here. Pull that off. So you'll take that off, and then you'll see like the little grooves right there. You just push those in and then lock it, and then you are set to go ahead and start inflating whatever device you may need to. So you can just pop this nozzle off here, and then you have a wider piece, and then like I said, you can use the other pieces as you like to. So when it comes time for you to break down camp, if you're going to be doing that, this side here is going to be where you're going to go ahead and suck down. So this is the piece that pulls the air in, and then on the outside blows it out for you. So this does the opposite, where it's going to be sucking the air in, and then you'll be able to suck down your air mattress as you deem necessary. So on here, this is where you're going to have the controls. So in the middle, of course, is going to be off. Up is going to be, like it says here, like your high pressure for your tires. And then the bottom piece right here, as it looks like a little air mattress here, is what you're going to use for that. DC, like I said, this side, or for the battery in the back. AC is for the cord, if you can see that on this side over here. So let's just take one of these batteries from up here. We'll place on the back side. And then boom, it comes on automatically. So when you're using this, you'll set it to the PSI, right, the pounds per square inch that you want for your tire, whatever, bicycle tire, like I said, one of those sports balls or something like that. And then what you'll do is you'll go ahead and just hit it in the position. If you can hear that, that is pretty doggone loud. And I think that's one of the, I would say, cons for me, is that how loud it is. Now, granted, your traditional air tank is going to be just as loud, but if the tank is big enough, then it's just going to be allowing you to put air into your tires, and it's not going to be that loud until it has to generate again to put more pressure back into the tank. Now, this thing is convenient for the fact that it is so portable. So like I said, for those camping trips, it doesn't take up a lot of space. It packs away very nicely, and that's awesome, right? That's what we want. The only part that I would say I don't like is the fact that this thing doesn't have a oil water separator. So an oil water separator is going to help you out in cases where, like here in Alaska, it gets extremely cold. And the reason why I say that is because every car door, right, and I'll shoot some film so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. On the inside of your driver's door, it's going to have it to where you can see essentially where your PSI needs to be or should be, recommended by the manufacturers. So you put it to that PSI, but as the degrees drop down, for every 10 degrees, there's going to be about 1 to 2 PSI drop, right? And this bad boy right here, what I realized is that if you wanted at, let's say 35, that's what I keep my SUV at in my car. I set it to 37 and it'll hit right at that 35 that I need it to be. So you have to go a little bit over with this device in order to get the desired PSI that you want. Maybe that's just the one that I bought, but for me, that's what works out, and it's pretty exact. Now for you, you may not have to do that, but that's what I found out for myself. Now with the PSI change, so here it can go from like what it is now around the 60s to 70s, and it's gonna dip down into the lowest that I've seen is like a negative 44. And so you're talking about, you know, somewhere around 11 degrees difference. So for every 10 degrees, you're gonna drop around 1 to 2 PSI. So you can drop anywhere from 9 to 11 PSI or up to 18 to 22 PSI. So imagine for your SUV and your car that you do have set around 35 PSI, that thing is going to dip down to where it's gonna be around 26 to possibly even 20, what is that, 24 PSI, and that's unacceptable for when you're driving on the roads. That's dangerous. So oil water separators, use a traditional air compressor. For these, I only recommend them when it comes to like bicycles and other little things. But like I said, nonetheless, it is pretty handy just for not the area that I currently live in. Now, I would definitely use this if I was in the lower 48 somewhere. But for up here, it is just not something that I feasibly can use during the winter time. And I definitely wouldn't use on one of my other vehicles, because this one currently has nitrogen, which is way better than just putting, even with the oil water separator, putting that into your tires. So if you can, nitrogen, it may cost you a little bit. I go to Costco, got a membership, so they fill mine up. They even just installed one of those automatic machines on the outside. Takes all the guesswork out of it. You set the desired pressure that you want, hit the go button, hold it down, and then boom, once it's done, it beeps and you're good to go. Keep it moving. Even Lowe's has some on the outside of their businesses now for like the pro section, they call it. So just go over there, get your air pressure put into your tires and continue to go. But for the review on this V20 Craftsman tool here, this is great for a lot of people, but just not for me, especially when it comes to a tire like this that on the back side needs 70 PSI, and then my tires in the front need 60. That took forever, and it wasn't even that low. It was probably like 2 or 3 PSI. This thing was struggling to put PSI into it. And then for my car that I have that takes about 35 PSI to 32, it was just taking a very long time to get up there when I did try it. But when I did use this one, because of like condensation this thing can put, and because it doesn't have an oil water separator, this thing did put some, kind of, we'll say, condensation into the tire, and then came time for that negative 30 degrees that we had last year, it just killed the tires. They were down extremely low, and I having to have the tires taken off, take all the air that was in there out, and then redo it with an oil water separator, and then I had no more issues for the rest of the winter. So take it for what you want. Craftsman tool is awesome, just not for very cold weather.